Alrighty, in this little tutorial I'm going to explain a little bit about auras. Now, auras are abilities that affect the unit and the units around it, usually with specifications like race or type. So, for the first example, we have the tree right here. Beast type Defender, Forest Defender. Shadow of the Branches 3, Aura range of 2. Increases friendly ranged fighters attack for 26%. Now, something to keep in mind about auras is they cannot stack if they are from the same rank of unit. So if you want to stack an aura, you have to have two separate ranks. So in this particular example, Sis's farming army has 8 separate units, all of which have different ranks compared to the same ones. So that means that all these auras will stack and overlap, depending on the position of the unit. So in this particular example, we're using the plant right here, a beast type ranged attacker, to take advantage of all 8 of these auras at one time. And the third one of this particular, or the second one in this group, is the Orcish Witch, beast and ranged, so she's also gaining a benefit from the trees, but she increases friendly beasts attack for 20%. So instead of range, she's increasing the beasts. And this plant happens to count as both range and beast, so it's gaining the benefit from the Orcish Witch and the tree, as well as the Ape's Pride Defender and all the other 2 gorillas, which increases by a set amount rather than a percentage. But he only has an aura range of 1. So the gorillas actually have to be directly adjacent to the plant, while the Orcish Witches and the 2 trees can be a little bit further away. This allows for a pretty good array of overlap. And this, there we go. And here's the plant. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There's no only room to see 6 particular auras, and the other 2 are hidden back here, but you still can see them like I showed. Now, this particular plant is 915%, so he already has a pretty beastly attack power, and probably really doesn't need the benefit from the 3 gorillas, but sometimes every little bit helps. But if you didn't want to use the 3 gorillas, you could actually probably get away with using a 2 and a 5, yes. Because we have a 3 and a 4, so you could get a 2 and a 5 and have all 4 of them overlapping, and each one of them adding their own percentages to the overall attack, or possibly substitute in a couple of witches as well, since there's still a little bit of room to add a couple more in the back row without having to worry about them getting attacked and leaving the defenders in the front row. But that's all pretty much depending on what you yourself would want to do when you're building teams. But in this particular example, she's just using it for farming purposes. If you wanted to build an army, let me see, which units does she normally use? Let's go ahead and pop these out real quick and try to build a real quick army to explain another variation of overlap. Now, we're going to want to put this guy back in and put him right there. Let's get the warlord right here in the middle. For funsies, get the witch in here, getting a little bit of tracking difficulties. Alrighty, I paused it to quickly build the army since I was having a little bit of difficulty trying to get them scrolling wise. So here we go. Now, once you actually start the battle, you would probably want to move the brisk bug right here into the middle so his aura would overlap onto every one of these. And the brisk bug's aura increases friendly ranged fighters attacks for a chance of 2 attacks per turn with an 18% chance. So about 1 in 5 for this particular one, forest bug. Brisk bug is the rank 3. And we have our, here we go, the tree. So since he's in the middle, he's also hit giving it to all the ranged fighters in here, which goes from the witch up these two witches, the scorpion and the djinn. The orcish witch right here has her aura covering the scorpion right here, and is also increasing herself as well. You see, there's her buff on top of herself, and here's the forest defenders. Now, right here we have two other types of units. These are also, well, range 2 for the shield. Friendly human blocks 350 points of damage with a 36% chance. So he's covering Alaniel right here. And then we have our Night Warrior, whose aura is only a range of 1 and increases humans' attack for 25%. So right here, Alaniel is gaining the bonus of 3 different buffs: Forest Defender, White Knight, and Night Warrior. But if you move the Forest Bug into the middle, she will also gain that and have 4 separate auras stacked on top of it. Now, the Witch down here, she would also gain the Forest Bug's buff along with Forest Defender once you move the bug into the middle, once you actually start the battle. And here we go, the Fire Ghost, Forest Defender, and Forest Bug. So he has not only a chance of attacking twice, but has a slight increase to his damage output. While the Solar Nestling isn't ranged or beast and is not gaining any aura buffs whatsoever. But if we were to add the Demon Tree right here, its aura range is only 1. So you would actually want to try to put it right here, and since the Orcish Witch has a range of 3, she's still able to hit anything in the front row. And this allows the Solar Nestling right here, who is an attacker and usually at risk of being targeted and doesn't really have a lot of staying power, defense, or HP wise, makes it a little bit riskier to actually attack it, since now it has the Dark Forest Defender's buff of returning 50% damage with a 100% chance. And since the Solar Nestling also has a chance of, well, not a chance of, a guarantee of being reborn once with half its HP, that means that anyone that does attack the Solar Nestling that deals a ton of damage but doesn't have a lot of HP is going to be committing suicide. And if they don't kill the Solar Nestling on the first hit, that means that any other units also attacking it would also be in great danger. Which makes that particular combination of auras really dangerous for ranged units that have low HP and a lot of attack power. If Alaniel right here were to attack this Nestling, she would most likely die in the attempt, since it's going to be returning 50% of the damage, and her damage is over twice her HP. So yes, she would be committing suicide by trying to attack this Nestling. And the Djinn, or the Fire Ghost right here, is also under the same buff, and that makes it safer to put him in the front row, because any units that are attacking him, we're going to take damage, and that allows him to also attack the second row and reach out and touch those in the third row as well with splash damage. So if and this makes a pretty nifty PvP option right here. Another thing you can use with this particular combination is with the Dark Trees, getting your vampires up in here as well on top of that, giving them an even more staying power. Well, not more staying power, but making it a lot more dangerous for any opponents trying to attack you. Since not only will they be healing themselves if an opponent does attack them and try to kill them, but the only ones that are going to survive are most likely going to be the Stouts. Any attackers, ranged units, and some defenders who have a decent amount of attack power, since the damage that they take is not going to be reduced because the damage is being returned, and return follows different rules. That means if they deal, this guy right here deals, let's go ahead and round it up to 900 damage, he's going to take 450 of it, and he doesn't have a whole lot of HP to begin with, so that makes it really dangerous. Alrighty, that's enough about auras. Hopefully that's helped you a bit, and good luck in your gaming. Laters.